relationship that Cuba doesn't deserve, because they're not doing any changes over there. The politics is the same, you know, they're getting like, little gifts from the United States,
Yeah.
like, they don't deserve it.
Is it because of, I guess you're talking about because of leadership, not the people?
No, not the people. The people deserve everything. It's not the leadership doesn't deserve.
Was it, is Castro the son? Is he just like
That's
the?
the brother. Raul is the brother that's.
Well, he can only stay around so long.
Oh no, that's a dictatorship. They have other people that are behind him that's going to take over. And they need to give up a lot of stuff. They haven't given up anything. And Obama, the only thing he does is give.
It doesn't require much.
It doesn't require much from them. He needs to require in order to give.
Right.
Now Marriott is going to be opening up hotels, you know? That's messed up. Giving the Cuban government more money? No.
Good morning, how are you doing?
Your Owens or Modern?
Owens, okay, here we
Modern?
go, here we go.
Oh, Owens.
Owens. Oh, we're gonna need some praying on this one.
On Owens?
Yeah,
Who's the principal?
Dr. Augustus.
Is that the
Oh,
problem?
I worked with her
Lorena?
when she was
Or
at
Lorena?
best.
Lorena, I guess that's her name.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, I
It's a little
heard a lot
different
about
this year.
her.
We went from a B minus to a D plus,
in what campus?
1 year, 1 year.
Well, with who? With the state?
It just has to warm up.
Gosh, yeah, with the state. This,
Because
you know, that new system that they have, the A, B, C, D system?
Yeah. So what dropped it so low so fast? Scores?
I guess so. But, I'm gonna say lack of leadership. There's no leadership.
Yeah.
You're talking about a D minus as far as star on the grades of the kids overall? Well, we only passed 42% at Horn. 42% of the kids only passed the STAR test.
Well, I heard Horn was one of the schools. I think it was Horn was one of the schools that was low performing.
Very low
Three or
performing.
so, 3 elementary, I think.
Yeah, best is one of them also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and you can tell why. I mean, I can tell why. I don't have to be, you know, smart to
Kind of have
know.
a little new attitude. Stop making requests on these people make demands. They work for us. So let's start. I'm talking about the administration.
This is
Right,
all
right.
the
You
people
work
that
for
we have
us. So
over there.
let's start acting like public servants. Or let's get you out of here.
Yeah.
No
They,
way.
they want us to put in 110%, and I'm so happy to do that. But you know, things happen. Mm.
Morning.
No, she was
Come
there.
on.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you.
If we start on time, we'll finish on time. You want to start on time?
Yes. I apologize for being late.
Oh, I'm sorry. Get my feet.
That's
Don't
gonna be
worry.
our position. We start on
Well, let's
time.
get started.
Yes. Lisa, come get some breakfast.
Yes, ma'am.
Sign in. 10 o'clock to 10:05. We already did that. That clock is right for like 10 minutes. Welcome. Breakfast. Late arrival. You're here now. So now we're here at 10:10. 5 minutes behind. Who are we? So let's introduce ourselves. I'll go last. Maybe Ms. Taylor, you want to introduce yourself? Then Ms. Spencer trying to sneak out the front door.
Good morning, and thank you all for taking time out of your last few Saturdays of your summer vacation to come up here for a little bit so we can review what our objectives are going to be for the upcoming school year and how we would like to enlist your help and support for what we're trying to do to help our fellow educators. My name is Monica Taylor, and I'm the area coordinator. In your binder, you will find a list of schools. We'll go over the binder a little bit later on. But I am the coordinator for the campuses under Area C, and the deputy superintendent for those tract schools is Ms. Ava Montgomery. I'm a 25-year retiree of Alief ISD. I spent my last 20 years at AFTSE as their elementary intermediate counselor. So I know your walk. I know your,
Footprint.
I know everything about what it is to be a part of the Alief way.
Ms. Spencer?
Alief, you, Ramona Spencer here, retired in 2013. I spent 16 years as an administrator here. Worked at several campuses throughout the district. And now I'm retired, so now I'm serving AFT because I saw a great need with problems that teachers were having. That's why we're glad you guys are here, because we understand and we know the memberships have fallen off, but that's our goal. We're all educators, we're retired folks, so we know a whole lot of things that have been going on throughout the district, and we're going to be here to serve you.
I'll go last. Well, why don't we start with,
Oh, okay, well, the host normally should have gone first, but I will go.
Okay.
My name is Lisa Washington. I am well, this year I will be doing in-class support special education teacher over at AFTSE.
And I'm Lily Medrano, I work for Horn Elementary, and I am in the front office. That's what I do.
okay. Her mouth is full, so we'll
Okay.
let her go last.
I'm Kathy Keene. I am at Owens Intermediate. I've been there, this will be my 16th year, and I'm an interventionist.
Oh, okay.
And I'm Sandra Finger, sorry about this.
No problem.
MATA Intermediate, Math Intervention also.
Okay.
Okay, I'm Errol Jones, and I work with the district 20 years until they retired me. And, police escort out of the classroom for reasons that they still don't know, but I didn't mind because they had to pay me for the whole year, which was fine, but I'll get into that a little bit later. I've taught DC4 and ALC. I love doing it, you know. I've got a couple of graduate degrees. I did not have to stay in the DC4 classroom, but I loved it. I knew those kids would never see anybody that had my skills and background and swagger in the classroom. You know, so I stayed there for them, committed to them.
He's ex-military, Lisa.
Yeah,
Oh,
did
okay.
that too.
What branch?
With the Air Force, I was in Alaska.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was nice once I left.
Lisa.
So that's that. All of us here is really good because we all worked together in the past, and so I came back over here. I was one of the charter members. I came back because of the quality of the people that we have here in the front office. Not that the others weren't, but they had to carry a heavy load. I worked with them too. But now we're going another step up. So some of you may be out in the field already. You hear people saying this, that, and the other about AFG, and it's probably all true. But we want to reverse some of that perception. The way that people think one thing about you, the way you reverse it is do exactly the opposite. So
Right.
whatever the problems were, and that's what we need BRs to make sure that you're getting us the complaints and concerns and all that, so we know how to reverse that. So that's that. So that's who we are. Building rep orientation. Let's get right into this. This first part, if you want a copy of the PowerPoints, we can send it to you. You know, we've been really stressing trying to reduce a lot of this paper stuff because I would think most of you guys have a cell phone. You know, who's not on Facebook? It's easy to find that out. Not on Facebook? Don't like it? Well, we have to.
There's no interest.
Oh, okay, no interest. Well, we're gonna have stuff that, because people, if you're gonna fish, you know, it's better to go to a desert than go to it's better to go to a lake instead of going to a desert. People are already on social media and whatnot, so why don't we use that? Instead of trying to get all of our members, as many as possible, come and fill this room, which you can already see, we don't even have room for that. We want to deliver our information to them as much as possible using social media, radio, television, all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go through this pretty quick. Nobody here is the first year, second year. No. So most of this is probably, you may already know some of it. Then I'm going to get to the second part, which you may not know about, or you won't know about because we just designed it. And then that's the BR success strategy. And then at the very end, we should be done by 11. Networking, laughing, and leaving. I tell you, like I used to tell folks when I had my church, the pastor say, how long can I preach? I said, you can preach as long as you want to, but the people leave at 12:30. You can stay, laugh, and network all you want, but we'll be out here at 11:30. If this represents us, keys to the movement, what do you see about that picture that would say something about us?
Different colors.
Different colors,
Different backgrounds.
backgrounds.
Still all a commonality, though, still something.
There's still something that keeps us all together, you know. I am very pro-black. You know why? We have a problem in our community. That doesn't mean anti-anybody. I love people. My favorite food, take me and get me some enchiladas, get me some refried beans. I don't want no chicken, I don't want no pork chop, I don't want none of that, you know? But I know that there's a crisis in our community, so those are things that I really try to focus on. But in order for us to be a strong community, I'm just speaking now about the black community, you've got to be able to work with people. You just can't be off here in boonies somewhere. You have to work with people. And so that's something that I really try to stress with our folks and try to build coalitions of folks. I just brought that out as a personal insight. Didn't need to say it, but we just want to have a place to say it, just like everybody else. This is valuable. Good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Pretty
Excuse
good.
me for being tardy.
Don't worry about it. We already had you on the agenda.
No, good. And I want to kill my
What school?
Elsie.
Elsie. Okay, my nephew's over there. But we're the key. You're the key. Not the keys, but the key. So when you're walking down the hall, and Veronica started pushing this as one of our themes, I've got the power.
Oh,
We thought
yeah.
about we've got the power. Well, we already know we, but when you're walking down that hall, usually you're walking by yourself. You don't need to just say, we got the power. You need, I got it, because you really do. And if you pull out your tape recorder, you've got the power. You taking notes, you have the power. You have to understand that you have the power if it's just you, one person. But then when we come together, we can have more power. Key to the movement for change. Raise your hand if you think there needs to be some changes in Alief. Yeah, you couldn't get it
Lord
up fast
Jesus.
enough. So we're the key to that change. We're not begging, we're not abrasive, not necessarily aggressive, but we will be assertive. You have to know where you stand. And when you're assertive, that's sometimes when those attacks will come even more. But that's okay. Okay, you can deal with that. The movement has vision. We're going somewhere. You know we can change the school, we can change the district, we can change the state. But we have to have your ideas, your input, your support. And not just you, but you represent the people on the campuses in order for us to make these changes. Online, if you go to this site right here for teachers, we can refer them to that, a place where they can find their lesson plan ideas, and even can share their lessons at that Share My Lesson Plan. These are research-based activities and trainings that AFT offers. These are really good. In fact, you're going to see if you want to become a trainer, that they will even send you off to be trained, and you can come back and do trainings for the AFT with the district. I think you get paid something like $200. So you come in the evening, make $200, $250 training people. This is really good stuff.
And nationally. or
And
state.
national too, if you want to be a trainer. So keep your mind open about that. Research-based, that's important. I used to hate that term about research because I really didn't fully understand what they meant. There's different levels of research. You can ask me later about it. The ER&D program deals with the same kind of information and content to make sure that you have strong teachers and we have strong instructional strategies that we can use in addition to what the district offers. These are things that the union, who's concerned about the teachers, make sure that the teachers know. You know, now the central administration is supposed to be concerned about the teachers and students, but I have doubts about that oftentimes, really. And we'll talk about that later on the political side. You can become a paid trainer. For instance, homework. This is just one thing that's an aside. They were stressing how homework, you should never send home something the kids didn't see in class. If they didn't learn it in school, you shouldn't be sending it home. Here, go home and work on this. You know, it should be something that helps them to work on things that they've already learned. Just one thing. What else? Strategy for student success. More of the same kind of thing. Addressing student behavior, how to deal with the kids. You need to get in their minds and understand them. Using questions to teach and learn, differentiating instruction, nothing you never heard before, but again, learn how to become a paid trainer. One of the things that I really, for this year, we want to emphasize here is that not just, well, the union's here to fight for you, but the union's here is a family. We need to work together, get closer together so people understand. You know, I have family members I don't like, but still don't, what, you don't?
But you love them.
I love them, but I don't like them, you know. But if somebody's bothering them or they have a problem, they know, hey, call me. You know, I'm still there. So same thing with us. So we have to do more than just we're going to fight for you at the union. No, let's do things that help all of us grow, to become better people, better family members in our own families. You know, so that when you leave here enhanced. Not just, well, the union fought for me when I had the issue with the principal. We have to be more than that. There's only so much the union can really do. The parents have the power. Legal topics such as safe schools, you need to know that, know your rights. I just heard today or yesterday, another teacher told me that she was being forced to pay for books. Come on now. How long has that been understood that you don't have to pay for the books? Yet another teacher, and she knew it, but felt pressure to try to pay for a book. Tried to get.
And I had teachers who paid for books.
Oh, no, I'm not paying for books, 'cause I went on, what was that?
And they would take it out of your
In-
last
in-
payroll check.
In summer school, they will. So then how do we get that stopped?
Contact us.
Yeah.
Well, there's two parts though, let's be clear about that one.
Yeah.
The first part is, you don't have to pay for textbooks issued to the students if they lose it. But you do have, you do have to pay for teacher books. If you lose a teacher material, say out of your
Okay, like the TE.
Texas Treasure, right, like a TE. If you lose a TE or anything that was checked out to you, you have to pay for that.
We need to challenge that, because I'm not gonna pay for the teacher book. Because when I'm absent, and that sub came and stole my book, or do you want me to take the teacher book home every day and now the sub can't use it?
Right.
See, so somewhere in
See, yeah,
there,
you do, but I did read the law up on that because I was adamant about who needs to pay, and I did see that.
and that's one of the things that
What if
with
they
the
give you,
union.
like in summer school, what if they give you class sets and you go to a funeral and come back and 3 books are missing?
I'm not paying for those books. That's just a way to have you pay for what the state should be paying for.
Okay.
Because anybody can steal your book. Look, teachers are some of the biggest thieves in the world. They'll come and steal your book right next door to you. Not AFT teachers though. You know, really, people are people.
Yeah, right,
You
that
know,
is 100% true.
One of the oldest members at my church stole the offering, the tithe and offering, you know. Really. So you can't really trust anybody. Trust but verify.
There you go.
So that's something that we could argue for and fight for. You know, like, no, we
Especially
shouldn't have to pay for
depending on the
these books.
situation.
Right, exactly. No, right.
Yeah.
Because he's right though, because substitutes do come with their little fingers and things of that nature. And teachers who lost their books
We'll
or
get yours.
TEs, when you leave yours on a copier machine, they'll come by and take it instead of
The
returning it.
kids will take your stuff.
That is true too.
It's funny. People are like,
That's
why would
true.
you do that? It's funny coming here playing with the teachers. You guys are
Exactly, yeah.
toys. So when I come to school, I'm coming to play with you. I'm gonna take your book, throw it in the trash.
That's why I slap them.
Right,
And
and
so-
throw it in trash. Don't
Throw it
even
in the
use it
can.
or try to sell it. They'll throw it away
Throw it in the
just to
trash.
mess with you.
You know, so why should I have to pay for that? Okay. Training legal topics, so, and meeting PDOS requirements, real important, so you understand your rights. In recent years, these are some of the things that AFT has been involved in and fought for to make changes in, and they continuously fight for that. This is the stuff that most people don't see because it's at the legislature, and it's very important. One year, they were telling me how they were trying to change, to give the rights for the school board to be able to change your class size, your planning time, your free lunch, and all this stuff. Give it to the school board, let them decide.
And they never been inside a classroom.
Right.
Okay.
So, but AFT was there and they saw the language, just one little line that would have wiped out all the years of fighting, the rights that we had earned through all these years of fighting. So that's important, and we're gonna come back to this when we start talking about COVID, why it's important. So it's not just, hey, go fight for me, I got in trouble with the teacher, with the principal. There's a difference between teachers who just focused on the kiddos, and that's the language we like to use, with, hey, the kids, it's about the kids. No, it's more than about the kids, because if you impact the kids, you're gonna impact the community. So it's more than just about the kiddos. But we have to, the teachers, and then there's educators. The educators teach, but they look at the bigger picture besides just what's happening in the classroom. Okay, move backwards. Move backwards. Members are active participants in the profession. Okay, this is COPE. This is the COPE committee. Now, anything that has to be dealt with as far as politicians that are running for office and those kind of things, that money cannot come out of your dues money. It has to come out of a separate fund, and that's called the COPE fund, Community on Political Education. So I think there's something like, they're asking people to donate like $1 or something like that. That adds up pretty quickly. Why is it important? This sounds terrible, but it allows you to buy your politician. Everybody else buys them.
Yeah,
You gotta really understand.
It's America, you need that.
You need to buy your politicians. And so that allows us to buy our politicians. Folks that are not just gonna be puppets per se, but at least lean in the general direction.
Or in Trump's case, buy your election votes.
Yeah, right. You know, but that's important. So when you see that, I think it's a check-off box on one of the forms somewhere. We really want to stress and emphasize this because it gives us more political clout. call you back. I'm in front of a class and they're looking at me, strange for answering my phone, but let me give you a call back.
You get ready to get a disciplinary referral.
Yeah, I had to take that one. Lobby Day. This is fun. When we take, anybody here ever been on Lobby Day? Folks get on the bus and we all ride up to Austin and walk around with our signs and just let folks know that we are in the house. And that's real important. It also builds camaraderie and things like that. So we want to encourage people to come out on Lobby Day. I think it's free. There's no charge.
It's free.
Yeah, I think they may ask you to pay $10 just to
There's
reserve the seat,
a $20 reservation
but they give it back to you.
fee, if you
Every
will.
other year.
Mm-hmm.
Every other
And
year,
when
that's
you get on board on the bus, they refund your money. Of course, if you don't,
right. Yeah, because you held up a seat.
we keep the money because, we, needed to know how much,
Good morning.
morning,
Morning,
how
morning.
many to, because the one or two people that did not show up could have meant that we didn't have to purchase another bus.
Right. So it costs. We understand.
But it's open to you and your family members who are not educators, just like a vacation, because it's usually the first Monday of the spring break every other year, which is usually during the legislative session.
And it's fun, nice little break.
So next one is 2017,
And what is during spring break, right?
the first Monday of the spring break, the district spring break.
That's gonna clash with our cruise, but we'll work it out. Daily legislative hotline, they send this out every day, things that are happening in the district. It's good to be abreast of it so you'll know. We want our members to know what's happening, so when people hear us talking in the hallways, they know we're on top of things that happen in the legislature. That's what the educators do. Teachers may not fully understand, they're just concerned about the kiddos, so we wanna look at the bigger picture. These are some of the folks that you may or may not know, but some of you'll meet if you go on legislature, go to Lobby Day. Eric deals with most of the stuff that you get to see reported about the legislature. And he's a new president. The past president just passed away, 6 months ago. She was really, has been there for a while. And so Lewis is taking over now. New regime. Our logo, we are the union. The local union is you. One of the reasons
How is the president selected? Is it voted in or is appointed, like
It's
in the
voted.
school board?
It's
Is it
elected.
board?
yeah, they're voted, so
It's kind of like the presidential thing because each local has a number of delegates based on your membership size. And they cast their votes either collectively or they can split between 2 or 3 candidates if that's the local's choice.
Oh,
and
So we have 25 delegates, we can put all 25 votes to one candidate or we can endorse 2 or 3 people.
oh, okay, so he is the elected president, he's not just the
He is the
interim
elected
because she
president.
died
He was
before her
just,
thing?
well, he ran unopposed this year,
Oh, he ran
but-
unopposed, okay.
but
which is
but
the
it
problem.
doesn't
Me
have
too.
to, it didn't have to be that way, but that's the way it was.
I understand.
And
I'm sorry, the treasurer was, also a position that was filled during conference in, San Antonio this past June, and we were there. We had to cast votes for that person. And, that's kind of, it went that way,
Okay, I got you.
But
And
it's-
and he has the term, how long is the term?
2 years.
2 years? Okay,
Is it a paid position?
yes.
Yes, they're state, they're
It's paid
employees by the union, the
Yeah.
national union.
And, one of the things, some of the
And
things,
that's for Texas.
that's for Texas.
He's a Texas president, right?
He's a Texas president,
Okay.
that's TFT,
Right.
and the national is AFT.
Right, no, I knew that part, I just wanted to make sure, so he
Texas.
goes to the collective meetings
Yeah.
with the other
Right.
representatives.
And not that it's a goal, but some of the things that we're doing and going to do this year are gonna put us ahead of the state as far as how they're operating with their unions. Which means folks are gonna be looking at what we do, and that means we have opportunities to be the new president. Now, I'm not trying to do that. One of the problems that I see, teachers tend to be real, especially here in Texas, real nice people. Don't wanna rock the boat. So if somebody's running unopposed, well, we don't wanna run against them because I guess they're just running unopposed. That's one reason why we don't get as much respect, because we're just so nice. We're really nice. Well, I wanna be effective. I wanna be efficient. I wanna be kind. I wanna be loving. But nice, I had to go look it up, find out if somebody told me, Mr. Jones, make sure you're nice. I was like, let me go look that up. Oh, agreeable. I'm like, I'm not trying to be nice. We have some things we have to deal with here. So nice is not really on my mind right now. We need to be effective. We need to be efficient. Get the job done, and we'll get respect. So we want our union to be.
That's what we do in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago. We're natural enemies. I'm a Detroiter.
Oh, see?
I'm gonna try to get along with you though. If
Yeah,
you're
'cause
bulls,
we'll say strike and everybody sit down.
Hey, in Detroit, strikes were on the calendar.
Okay?
I came here and I called one of the local unions up and I said, how come you don't strike? And they got indignant with me. Well,
Yes.
Mr. Jones, we don't have to strike because we have a good relationship with the legislature.
right, okay.
And so we don't have to strike. And she was really nasty to me, even asking the question. I was like, okay, see, I don't need to be with you.
Okay.
Someone said it's against the law. Who makes the law?
Yeah.
We vote for people that go up there and make the law.
Just because it's a right to work state doesn't mean you cannot strike.
No, yeah, and that's why they don't want a lot of folks coming down here who understand that you have rights. You know, you just don't have to go along with what they say.
Exactly.
You know, but it seems like in Texas, and I love being here, there's been an institutionalization of our folk, of all colors and races. You'll find there's less of racial issues here than it is class.
Well, you know, they bought out, the preacher from Wheeler Baptist Church told him not to march when King came down here.
Well, and that's why on first Sunday, you need to be a boycott. Take your tithing off and take it somewhere else. You know, not at that church. But we're working on it. That's not AFT stuff. That's something else. But if you're not in the way, if you're not on the way, you're in the way. We have to deal with you. Simple as that. In loving kindness.
You're such a breath of fresh air, my friend. Where were you? Where you been?
I was
My
here.
first time seeing you. Not to say that I'm always at every meeting, but you know.
Yeah,
but anyway,
well,
we'll talk about that when
Yeah,
we
somebody
laughing out
told
the
me
door.
to talk to you already.
Oh, I didn't talk about me.
Your reputation has preceded
Hey,
you. Okay?
hey,
You know?
hey,
But you know
hey.
what? It's time out for the dumb stuff. Because
True.
really, it's the kids being disenfranchised, the teachers are being disenfranchised, when there's folks sitting over there making big, big money. And I know, because I've been on the inside, scheming and conniving, lying and dogging out folks. It's time out for that. You all may have to go.
They little meetings in Royal Oaks. And
You gotta go. It's time to go. Because I just told you I was escorted out the classroom, 2:30 in the afternoon, police escort. And I work hard. I do my job. And you know, there's some things that's just piling and I ain't doing it. And I was on administrative leave. They paid me my whole salary. I sat at home, still wrote about it. Now David Temple blew his wife's head off, his pregnant wife's head off. They
Yes.
transferred him
to ALC.
to ALC. He got a transfer
Like, what the hell?
and worked in one of the
Around
most
children.
difficult assignments, period. And I walked by him one day and I was like, hey, how you doing? And I was like, oh God, I know how you doing. Your life is at stake right now. I got suspended. He got a transfer. Come on, y'all. Let's get it done.
Now, what was your reason for being suspended?
I still don't know. I really didn't care because they wrote
Well,
the
he
check for the
refused to
year.
do the special ed paperwork, talk to the.
Well,
you know,
the special ed paperwork was like this.
Oh, yeah, that's why
And you
got
can
out
only
of
do
special-
so much of it.
That's why
And then
I
I
got
wrote a
out of
proposal. Was in a doctoral program for organizational, for decision making and science decision. Shoot, I was in the program.
Slow it down.
Yeah, but I got all hyped up about that. But anyway, I knew how to write the proposal. I wrote the proposal. They said, well, I said, I don't have enough time to do this. So I showed them how I could save 6 to 11 hours. I broke it down by minutes and all this
Yeah.
stuff. And they said, well, we took it to the best minds in Alief and we rejected it. I'm like, you better get some better minds at the table because this is a solid proposal here. When you were saying I didn't have time to get the paperwork done, I showed you how I can get the paperwork done. But they were just, and one of the guys they hired to finally came back and said, Mr. Jones, they hired me to help get rid of you. Now he's on my team now. You know, so that garbage, the stuff that they're doing over there,
Yeah.
not putting up with
And
that.
also the paperwork, Pat Berry later came back and said.
She came back and justified, and I put them in a grievance, and that's when they
Too
finally
much
went on to pay me. It was garbage what they're doing. The problem is most people don't know it. They don't really understand what they're
Okay,
supposed
so
to
they
do.
said that you weren't doing what?
Paperwork.
Okay, you weren't doing the paperwork.
Yeah, I needed to be in the classroom, so the principal, who's completely inept, Brian Brown, is killer. He would come to my room and call me out of the room. Now remember, I'm being written up for not being in the classroom teaching. He calls me out of the room to meet with him in the hallway to read a full-page letter about not being in the classroom teaching. You just pulled me out to come out here and read this letter. You want me to sign it? Come on, man, you must be crazy. And I treated him with respect.
My signature is always, I read this shit.
I don't even sign it.
Okay, yeah.
I don't sign it. But at any rate, I hope you
Okay, so
understand.
come on, no, bring me to the cops. Well, how did the cops come in? What happened?
Because we had a meeting with Brian Brown and we were talking about some things, and I even have the tapes, you can hear the tapes. And so they came back the next day and said I used a racial slur. 7 minutes. There's no racial slur on there. So they came back and brought the police. Now, why would you have to escort me out of the classroom at 2:30 the next day? You could have waited for school to be over and just say, don't come back.
Right,
Because they knew,
the scene.
people knew me all over the district. And if Mr. Jones could be taken out like that, everybody better be on house arrest.
They trying to shake the foundation.
So they sent me home, and I was still writing. I said, you all are ignorant. You paid me thousands of dollars to sit home, now I'm still writing about you, and I'm not going anywhere. Here we are 2 years later, I'm still writing about them. But I said, you're gonna leave because it's a mission. It's not because I don't have that job there. It's because I know you're struggling in classrooms. People 20 years and 30 years with impeccable records, all of a sudden you're on a growth plan. Now I was on a growth plan, and they came over and investigated me. I mean, not on a growth plan, they came over and investigated. I wrote a grievance. They came over and investigated me. And the 3 people that they asked for input on me, 2 of them were on growth plans, including the principal. How are you gonna evaluate me?
Right.
That's what they took. And they said, well, this is what these people said. Anyway, that's a whole nother subject.
I got
Yeah.
So I already know
It's
the kind of
called
stuff that
time
they
we need
do.
to sue.
It's time for that to stop. And I didn't sue because their friends, family, and relatives are the lawyers I would have to pay to sue. So I got on the microphone. And then they just decided, let's get this guy off this microphone. Let's pay him and get him out the way. Because they thought I was there for the money. I'm still on the microphone. And they're gonna have to go. So anyway,
And this happened when, what year?
about 2 years ago.
I love your tenacity.
They do too. They do too. And I'm respectful. We have a meeting coming up on Sunday. You all might also
I'm
be
not.
there.
It's been something. It ain't
You see
over
what
yet.
you get.
No,
Well,
it's
it's just
not
time for change.
Yeah.
over. And we make the
Let's start with
changes.
we.
A positive change.
We make the changes. You know, that's up
There's
to
just
us.
too many principals that are bullying staff, and
Yes.
that's supposed to be our platform this year, is bullying in the workplace.
But see, they were
It's
trained to be like that
unbelievable.
by the previous
Unbelievable.
administrators and
Right.
stuff. And so, like when the new teachers come in and stuff, and I see them in the hallway crying, I said, why are you crying? I said,
A
I'm
new
the
teacher.
AFT. You need to come see me if you're having a problem.
We want to start.
Alief is one district that gives principals a lot of,
Leeway.
yes, yes, but some other districts don't do
That ain't
that.
no
I know
lie.
this district does that.
Because they've been bought out. It doesn't matter what color you are, or what your race is, and none of that stuff. They've been bought out, and they're gonna make sure they protect that salary. And so the very good friend that you used to work with all of a sudden becomes administrator and completely flips. Because now they have to be the bulldog to protect that income and those revenues. So they think that that's the way. No, that's the way out.
Yeah, you get
Because we
more
wanna start
fines and
evaluating
everything.
these administrators and posting it.
Exactly.
These are the people, this is what they're doing. We want to post it. And we want to see, we're building a strong alliance with the parents. They have the power. The union can only do so much. See those parents, like I'm in HISD now advocating, they're looking at students walking out.
Right.
See, teachers don't need to walk out. You organize those kids, that's where the money is. You
Yeah,
pull those kids
yeah.
out.
Absolutely.
Especially at $1,200 a head.
Yeah, see, that's where the money's at. So teachers gonna be sitting in school every day. See, we don't have to strike.
Right.
We're organizing those parents, pull those kids out. And the way the teachers start put pressures on them, increase your sick days. I'm sick. So that way what happens is this, even though it might be our movement, they have more sick days that we take off because that costs. Now even those people that hate us and they're totally against the union, anytime they take a sick day, they're supporting us. You know, so there's ways to force their hand. You have to have an economic answer. All that going crying to the board, writing all those grievances, that has a place. But if it's not impacting their money, it just hear you talking. They're like, these silly people. And you're supposed to be the
See,
educators.
and see, excuse me, and even with the new teachers, and that's what Monica and I witnessed this past spring. So many new teachers who are still under the alternative certification umbrella, about to complete it, yet principals will not give them their certification. They want to place them on a growth plan. So as he's saying, we have to empower our members. They need to know what they can do and what they can't do. If they're struggling in the classroom, they need to know where they can come to get help. And that's how we're gonna empower you guys, is to work with these members, because when you do something and it's insubordination, there's not a whole lot we can do.
Right.
And
If
they
it's
know that.
insubordination, that's
So they have to be
External.
educated too as to, you know, what they can do and what they cannot do. If you're struggling in the classroom, let's get you some help.
Right, right.
But see, what we found is that you're hiring teachers, you know, and you're placing them in these positions, and you know you have a campus like Klinsman, where the kids are just unruly, and Kilo, and Ollie, and some of these campuses, but yet these teachers don't have the tools, and they're doing everything they can do. They're
right.
giving them a warning, they're having conferences with parents, they're meeting with counselors. Now what do? And then you go to the AP and they're writing you up for poor classroom management. What else can I do? So
Especially when you don't
it's a
have their
problem.
back.
It's a
Their support.
district problem here in Alief. And it's a management problem. And it's not the
Yes,
teacher's
they're
fault.
telling you you can't write up all these
Well,
referrals,
here-
we
yeah,
can't have all these
that's-
referrals and
That's
stuff.
the
in
thing,
school.
they
Because they don't wanna
don't
do the
want
work.
us
Right.
to write up the kids,
See.
cause they don't want to have to deal with it.
Absolutely.
And they don't wanna look
But
bad.
yet,
Right,
exactly,
they don't want that
but
bad.
So
yet,
you just look
when
bad.
they
told
fail your
that they have
classroom
too many
because,
referrals
and you
from
have
that school
5
or
other kids who
whatever.
are failing,
Right.
because you have these 1 or 2 children who disrupt the classroom
Mm-hmm.
every single day,
Every day.
every day.
It comes
And
to-
you get in
Yeah.
trouble for writing a referral.
Exactly.
See, that's ridiculous, because they keep that so that the burden falls on you.
And
And
boy,
when you
that
start-
shows up in your PDOS too.
And they start putting pressure on you, and then you say, well, I don't wanna look bad and get, so I can't get another job, I'll just go find another job somewhere. So they get some more stooges to come in there and play that dumb game with them.
Yeah.
So,
But no, this is where we, as an organization, Veronica Thibodeau, will meet with the superintendent and say, these are problems that our teachers are incurring. What do we do about it? This is a district problem. We need a different, a better management system. All these teachers are not bad classroom managers.
No.
It's the children that we've got coming to us. And so many of them are coming from where? HISD, Fort Bend. Fort Bend has kicked them out. Where do you think they come? They come here.
and then
Okay.
it makes money, and you
Right.
get the brunt of not being able to run your classroom, and then when
Right.
the test scores are low, it's on
Right.
you, and so
Right.
you're
And
fighting
then
for
they're
your
building
job.
Are
and then
we
they
starting
build a
this
new
school,
Kip
like you
Academy,
said,
so all our
yeah.
good, our cream of the crop are gonna be going where?
Yeah.
Kip Academy, right on
Right.
Highway 6.
Exactly. I taught DC4 classes, and they never could say, Mr. Jones, we're getting you on academic stuff. My kids learn. And I told them, listen, you can go get your principal, get your mama, get your daddy, but you will not come in my class and disrupt learning here. And then I take a vote. How many of you guys want this kid to steal your learning? Nobody said, okay, we do. And I ran my classroom. And so I never got into academic stuff. My kids
DC4.
learned. Had nothing to do with Alief or TOS or tax, nothing. That's what I owe to these kids. That's why I stayed there. Period. Anyway, let's get through
Yeah,
this.
but I feel like they don't really hear the teachers cry, because they've been like posting the past couple of years, even like getting on us about the days you miss,
Oh,
from
that's
school,
big.
yeah.
That's
But a lot of them are missing because, you can't breathe too hard on any kid, you have to deal with all this other stuff. And so, cause we're there, we know what teachers are saying, and they're like, well,
They know
I'm
too.
gonna be out, yeah, and then they wanna be like, well, this school has all these absences, this school, and then the principal's saying like, come to school, you need to be here, you need to stand up for your, whatever it is you sign your
Stress
contract to do.
affects your health.
See, that's what I'm talking about, and I say, well, okay, why aren't they trying to find out why our
Why?
teachers are staying
Absolutely.
home and don't
Because
want to come
we
to
make
school?
money on you. Even when you bring those subs in, you
Right.
save up all these sick days, then you turn around and, well, I get to sell them back. You sell them back at 75% of what they're worth.
I
you
take
go.
them,
Right.
You
one
sell
by
them
one,
back,
I take them.
you
and
lose
I say,
25%.
when
My
I
husband
finish
had the nerve
using
to
them,
call
doc
me
me, but
to
leave me
see if
alone.
I was at home, I guess, and then they hung up the phone, but they forgot I got caller ID. Like, really, are you stupid?
Well, it's time out for all that stuff. Let's time
I'm
out
like,
for
why
all
were
that
you
stuff.
absent? I said, I need a mental health day.
Yeah, it's
Kept on walking
ridiculous.
down the hallway.
But we'll save that for the very end when we're on you guys' time. So the movement has benefits, liability insurance, the teacher defense fund. Monica's going to go over some of this at the very end, rentals, and some of the basic benefits that you get from being a part of who we are. If you go someplace and somebody asks them, "Are you a part of the AFT?" You get benefits of AFT. If they say no, it's like you really should. We have a large group, so that way they'll start following up. We probably need to give everybody cards to start telling them to tell the vendors pay attention to us. Same thing, benefits, award-winning publications, read our stuff, representation in Austin. One of the reasons why I'm with AFT and not the other unions, I was with them too, but AFT is the only one that has an office in Alief. So we're immediately responsive for, accessible to you and whoever else. So that's real important. And also, we're the only ones that are controlled by the local. The state doesn't control us. If we want to do A and the state says B, we can do A. Policy priorities, what I just said is we set the policy priorities for the most part for what we're doing here. No administrators in AFT, the other unions have both. Now, if that's not a
They're
conflict of interest.
associations, they're not really unions.
Yeah, I don't understand. You're part of the movement for change, it's us. And one other thing here. So that's that. me shake this other piece here. And I don't wanna, well, I might seem like I have a bad attitude.
No, we just don't, we from up north, we just, these
Yeah,
people
right.
don't scare us.
It's time for a change.
Like, who, excuse me, you talking to me?
You know, I had to tell them, I said, y'all, I got a contract. I didn't know I was signing up for slavery. You didn't buy me. You don't own me. I was looking for a job when I got this one. It's like, no problem. Okay, this is the right button here. Okay, give me a second. We didn't get your introduction. You can introduce yourself while I'm trying to.
Yeah. Mr. Miller, not a teacher. I'm a hall monitor.
Okay.
Been doing this for 17 years. I'm pretty damn good too.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. What school?
At AMS right now, but I did 11 years at Alief Middle School. And that was a school that, you know, we had a
You
lot
had
of
my
problems.
twins.
Huh?
You probably had my twins and all them.
I probably did. Boy.
And Nasir boys, Freddie Ryan,
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Trey
yeah.
graduated from
They-
Brown,
they
and
know
my
Mr.
boys,
Miller,
and I
all
used
of
to tell them.
They know Mr. Miller. What? Mr. Miller, she called me the B word. What's the B word? Bitch. I should know your nickname. Mr. Miller, you crazy. But I'm just as concerned about problems at my school. I was representing at Alief, and I came to AMS, and we were talking about administrator. I had an administrator. This lady was crazy. I'm not gonna take her. She was at Alief for 4 years, and before her though, we had this young lady was assistant principal, and they started to turn Alief around really deep. And finally, we had 2 or 3 more principals, but Alief got turned all the way around. This lady came in. Within 4 years, she got rid of 50 people. And like you said, you know, you teach. And we had teachers that taught and would get like 98, 99 percentile of their class right. This lady got rid of all these people. No, what was it?
I'm trying to remember her name.
Yeah, I have a
Like
name.
Babe?
Augustus?
No,
No, short hair, afro.
Dyson.
Nice.
Oh,
Right.
that,
She was
psycho.
crazy. She was crazy.
She started out at Betty Best with my husband.
Yeah, she was crazy, but don't tell you this quick story about myself, because she tried to get rid of me and show you how things go. This was in November.
And now she gone.
My dad, oh yeah, this happened right after. My dad was very sick in St. Louis, where I'm from, and so my sister called me one morning and she said, hey, the hospital said, come to the hospital, our dad's about to die. So I went on to work, I had my radio, and they said, Mr. Miller, we need you to go out there in the courtyard, some kids, I said, that's clear. And so then they hit me back, they said, Mr. Miller, we need to go to Boone Elementary. And I said, that's clear, I still have my hand on the button. Just as I did it, my cell phone went off, I looked at the number, it was my sister, I said, shit. I just,
And it was heard on
because
the radio.
I knew my dad had paid us. And sure enough, he had paid us. And so she called the district, I told her, hey, Mr. Miller over here cursing. Now I had been there for 10 years then. Never had a problem with a parent, teacher, administrator, ever.
No.
Ever, 10 years, ever, you know. But anyway, she got HR, and like you, they put me off for the month of December. I was out for a whole month. I'm like, started getting paid. But I go to HR, and our friend Cynthia Guignard, if anybody know her, was working over there as a good buddy, so they knew I was gone. So, but I had friends too. Miss Dr. Onwood, I went to her and explained, the same way I explained to you. And so she went to Joyce Eddings, who was over Hall Mountain. Okay, Hall Mountain ain't get rid of like
Should've been
that.
involved in it.
Yeah, like that. And so she said, well, Mr. Miller got a job. She said, I know you over there cursing on the radio. She said, well, you know, Joyce, we never know what we might say or do if our parent were to die. What? Yeah, Mr. Miller's dad died. And, you know, like I said, I never curse on radio. I'm very professional. I would never do that. That's unethical. But anyway, long story short, they got rid of her. The lady had 399 write-ups in her folder after 4 years.
I can believe it.
How did they keep her that long? Yeah.
They went to the school board. They went to the school board to try to get her moved. School board did nothing.
They don't keep those folks, because she'll get rid of people like you.
And well,
African
if they
American
flipped on,
at Olive.
they flipped on.
Yeah, they'll do it.
And she tried to get rid of me at Elsa. I told her, I said, you don't want to come over here this way. Guys,
But,
trust me.
yeah, you know, the grave you try to dig for other people eventually. You
And
dig
I
for
love them
yourself.
kids, I care
Bible
about those
says you
kids.
dig a hole for somebody else, you fall it yourself.
Yeah.
Mr. Brown, my sister is on hospice. She may pass any day, so I might have to answer my phone. I'm in the classroom, the phone rings, I go in the back closet and answer the phone. He said, fine, they wrote me up for using my phone. Now in my file, there's a picture of me outside at the flagpole on the telephone because for another situation, I went home for that day. I'm at the flagpole getting ready to leave, calling for a ride. A teacher came by and took my picture.
What?
And now that's in my file folder for using my phone on campus. These people are ignorant. I'm not even on campus. First of all, it shows conspiracy because how would that
Yeah.
teacher know
No, that.
to take a
And why is
picture
she
of me?
taking her phone out to
Why
take
she
a
take her
picture of
phone
you?
out? But see, all that's in the file.
She
They
was
don't
in the
care
building.
about that. They just
She
want
was
that.
inside the
And that's why
building.
that attorney over there,
Yeah, that's why I
he's
write
got
an
to go.
explanation for everything that happens to me.
I was so glad. I'm like, y'all
And I put
document
down
yourself.
who was
This
there,
foolishness.
What time of day it was, and
So we're gonna deal with that. You know, it's time out for that. It's enough of us that are aggravated enough to do something about it. So you know, and we're bringing those parents on board who are sick and tired of it too.
Good.
So there's gonna be some changes. Okay, this is the part that's kind of new. This is what we want to do with the BRs, and what we did was took these. We took these six characteristics here. It's from Madeline Hunter.
God.
Yeah, Madeline Hunter, you know, that's what the Alief thing was built on. Madeline Hunter, this is motivation. And it's good stuff, really it is. I remember when they came to do a presentation, said, we're going to use the ACT cycle, whatever that was, and we want to show you some stuff. I just happen to have Madeline Hunter's books written in the 70s in my briefcase. I'm like, you mean these? You know, you all need to catch up, really.
Yeah.
So here's what we want to do. We apply this to building rep success. Here's how we want to measure success. We want to enroll at least one new member for each building. If we do that and we have 40 campuses, that's 40 new people. If we enroll 2 people, that's 8 people. You know, we would like to go back over 1,000 and have another 200, 300 people registered this year. So enroll one new member and complete one of the following objectives to do that. Either come to NTO where teachers are already there, you register one, you already registered one. So you're already qualified. I'll tell you what qualified means later. Or register at least 2 new AFT members as soon as possible. Or subscribe 5 new contacts, people that are not in AFT, but they sign up for our new media program, where we're gonna start sending them information about what we're doing. And one of the things we wanna do is have some fun. You heard me mention the cruise, we're a family. If we have fun and we're doing some exciting things, then people are gonna hear us talking about it, laughing about it, and say, you know what? And when they go to their meetings, they'll be like, I think I need to be over there with them folks that's having a good time and getting the objectives met, like dominoes tournaments and stuff like that, pitting you all teams against each other, things like that, chess, whatever. So that's that part. Second thing, stop me if you have questions. Management efficiency rating is something that I use for determining how effective I am. I know that last month I did 71.1% of all the things I wanted that I wrote down. That means if I put it on my list, I have a 71.1 chance of getting it done for last month. Knowledge of results increases motivation. And all it is simply this. I have these 7 items. I give them an A, B, C, D. A is worth 4, 3, 2. And then as I check them off, I get 4 points for doing A's, 3 points for B's, 2 points for C's. If A is the highest priority and C's are the lowest, what do you think should be the priority on your list to get things done? They say successful people do 75% of things they write down. What do you think should be the priority, A, B, or C? If you have A, B's, and C's.
C, that's the lowest.
Is the priority?
I would make the priority if it's the lowest.
Well, C means, A means I have to get this thing done before I get on the airplane. C
Oh,
means,
okay.
C means if I get it done, it's okay, doesn't matter if I don't. Which ones do you think are the highest, should be the highest priority on the list? No, the C's. Because if you know how you have something that you need to get done, but you put it off, that C will turn into an A.
Procrastinate.
Right. So if you knock those C's off, that keeps you ahead of the game. Keeps you ahead of the game. You know, you're ahead of yourself now. So knock off the C items. So then it just becomes a game. So I have my list of things to do, and Miss Spencer, they always tease me about carrying my books, but those are my brains. I walk around with my brains in my hand.
Yes, you do.
Thank you.
Always.
So that's the management efficiency rating. So the things that we're going to have a series of tasks for us to do that you all will be competing. And as you get the task done, you get points. If you don't get it done, you get low points or no points. 3 areas that we want to focus on. What I just explained to you. We said 8 things we projected to do, but we only got 4. That's 50% MER. But the 3 things we want to focus on: team building. So for the BRs, you need to complete objectives at a 70% rate. That sounds like a lot, but you might only have one thing, you get the one thing done, that's 70%. That means right now, enroll at least 1 to 3 BR apprentices, not assistants, apprentices, people in training to take your place. So when you're no longer the BR, we already have 1 to 3 people at that school that are the pool for which we can pull from for the next series of whatever. And we want to try to get that done by the first 9 weeks. 9 weeks. Identify some folks who want to be apprentices. A contact person, same thing, complete at least 70% because we want to be effective and efficient. If you're not, then you're wasting your time and wasting our time and everybody else's time. We're not going to be effective and efficient, which means that's what MBA talks about. Business management is being effective, doing the right thing, and efficiency means doing the right thing right. Submit a contact person buddy list, individuals that we can contact for whatever we need to reach the district for. And the same thing with the event planner, when we have these activities, we just talk about dominoes tournament, things like that, or.
What was the buddy list for? You went through
The
that?
buddy list is for individuals that are people we know, but they're not in the union.
Oh, okay.
That we want to start sending stuff, you know, they're our friends and whatnot, we just want them to be informed. Why? Because
Prospects.
Yeah, prospects. So if you come over and your school, let's say Ollie wins the dominoes tournament and the trophy for dominoes, you know, we want everybody at Ollie to know, we want the rest of the district to know what's happening at Ollie too. That they won the tournament this year and then we do it again for next year. All of that stuff is fun, you know, if you know how to play dominoes.
And what about,
Whiz.
Right.
what about, like parents? Like, does that, you get any points for that? Like, say for instance, you get parents to possibly subscribe to, AFT newsletters or whatever.
It's not up here, but yes, I'm glad you brought that up because remember we said we need your ideas. This is just a skeleton here.
No, I understand,
So
I
we're
was
gonna
just
add to
curious.
it, but I'm glad you said that because that will be on the
It's
list.
the family center.
Parents are critical.
Yeah, family center.
You know, parents are critical. And think about the family center. When is it open?
Monday through Friday.
What
Yeah.
time?
School hours.
No, I was open almost all day.
Parents.
Yeah. How many
School
parents?
hours.
How many parents really can come to the family center? A lot of them
Okay.
are working.
Yeah.
So we need to do something where we open up the schools where the parents can come and participate. People tend to think, oh, they don't care about their kids. No, they care about their kids, but I'm working 3 jobs
Take care of
and taking care of kids. I'm tired and worn out. So one of the things we want to do is begin to deliver our information, our content via social media, radio, television, all that kind of stuff. So we'll need you guys to participate in some skits, show us how to interact with the hall monitor, what the teacher should do, how they should interact. You know, we do these little skits, bring some, you know, we want to have fun. So that way people can look at the video and see you on it. I don't know if we want to do that, but they will.
And I mean, I can agree with that to a certain extent. I just don't like it that everything's going into social media. I still believe in a good face-to-face. I don't believe everything should just be a text message, because I don't own a cell phone. I don't believe everything should be tweeted and Snapchat and Facebook. In addition to that, I still don't think that you should really go away from the tried and true, which is a face-to-face. Because people wanna know. So it's like if I'm here telling parents in my community, like, you know, seriously, I'm here to work with you guys and I would like for you guys to support us, you gotta do a face-to-face. It can't just all be a text